Eyes downrange, fingers on your triggers, and we all go home in one piece. Am I right, Marines?
Sir, yes, sir!
Damn right I am. Now move it out. Double time.
The golden era of gaming gave birth to some of the most iconic titles, and even after 25 years, they continue to captivate players. From pixelated adventures to groundbreaking gameplay mechanics, these old-school games have stood the test of time. In today's list, we'll explore 15 classic games that are still just as enjoyable today as they were when first released. And if you're a curious newcomer, these timeless gems are worth revisiting. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more retro gaming content.
Sword. Time to go to work, guys.
Devil May Cry. Who doesn't love slashing demons while looking as cool as a leather-clad devil hunter? Released in 2001, and it's been 25 years. Holy nostalgia, Batman. Devil May Cry is basically the blueprint for the entire hack-and-slash genre. You're Dante, a demon hunter with a vendetta and a penchant for badassery. Your job? To hunt demons, kick ass, and look ridiculously stylish while doing it. It's set on the cursed Mallet Island, where you'll fight the most terrifying demons imaginable, including a giant spider, a bird, a bioweapon nightmare, and of course, your twin brother turned demon warrior, Virgil. Plot-wise, Dante's on a mission to avenge his family by taking down the demon emperor, Mundus. And if you think that sounds epic, just wait for the power-ups and the devilishly cool combat. The gameplay's all about getting that stylish rating by comboing attacks and looking like a hero while you do it. Not to mention, you get to transform into a demon, because why not? The Devil Trigger is your ticket to becoming an unstoppable force of nature, complete with extra health, increased strength, and super cool new powers. And don't forget the puzzles. Sure, you might need to solve some riddles and platforming challenges, but the real fun is in the slaying. 25 years later, it's still a wild ride, and we can all agree. Devils may cry, but Dante will forever stay cool.
They were all dead. The final gunshot was an exclamation mark to everything that had led to this point. I released my finger from the trigger, and then it was over.
Max Payne. Let's talk Max Payne, the game that made slow-motion dives through gunfire look not only cool, but essential. Released in 2001, this neo-noir third-person shooter is an absolute gem. You're Max Payne, a disgruntled ex-cop who turns vigilante after his family gets brutally murdered by drug addicts. So yeah, the man's got some serious motivation. The gameplay's slick, especially with the now iconic bullet time mechanic, where you can dodge bullets like you're in a John Woo movie. And if you ever wanted to feel like a hard-boiled detective straight out of a crime novel, Max Payne delivers with its gritty storyline and dark atmosphere. You'll be diving into Max's quest for vengeance as he hunts down those responsible for his family's death and tries to clear his name. Along the way, you'll meet a colorful cast, including a Russian mobster and Mona Sachs, a vigilante whose twin sister's death brings her into Max's world. You'll blast your way through conspiracies, creepy underworld figures, and a whole lot of bad guys, all while trying to stay sane in a city that's out to get you. The game's moody, the gunplay's fantastic, and the bullet time is still one of the coolest mechanics ever. The sequels kept the action rolling, and the franchise's gritty tone carried on through Max Payne 2 and Max Payne 3, which took Max to Sao Paulo and gave him a fresh new set of problems. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. The game that somehow made skating look cooler than a rebellious teen on a half-pipe. Released in 2000, this was the game that took the first Pro Skater and kicked it up a notch, and maybe a 900-degree spin while we're at it. You get to control Tony Hawk himself, or a bunch of other legendary skaters, as you skate around massive, fun-filled levels, pulling off insane tricks, collecting hidden tapes, and, let's not forget, doing all this with a banging soundtrack that'll have you feeling like you're in an early 2000s skate video. Gameplay-wise, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 introduced manuals, allowing players to chain tricks together and rack up combos like you're trying to break the laws of physics. It also gave us that sweet feeling of freedom, letting us explore sprawling levels at our own pace. With a career mode where you're on a mission to complete 10 objectives per level, because one objective is never enough, you'll be earning cash to unlock rad upgrades and new characters. There's even a level editor to make your own crazy skate parks, because why wouldn't you want to create your own tricks? And let's not forget the cherry on top. Spider-Man himself is unlockable in some versions, because nothing says skateboarding legend like web slinging across a skate park. Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. A game that was ahead of its time in so many ways. I mean, this game was a wild ride through the future of gaming. You play as Raiden, yep, Snake's out of the spotlight for a bit, and you're dropped onto an offshore facility called the Big Shell, which has been hijacked by a group of eco-terrorists known as the Sons of Liberty. They've taken the President of the United States hostage and are threatening to blow up the entire facility if their demands aren't met. But wait, there's more. The story unravels into a massive conspiracy involving the Patriots, a powerful organization pulling all the strings behind the scenes. You'll be sneaking around, fighting bad guys, uncovering mind-bending philosophical dilemmas, and trying to stop the world from going to hell. Talk about a Tuesday, right? The gameplay is all about that tactical espionage action vibe, where stealth is key. You'll be creeping around, avoiding enemy guards, using cover, and of course finding creative ways to distract or incapacitate enemies without blowing your cover, unless you want to. Hey, no judgment. You can shoot out radios, sneak up behind foes for some sweet interrogation action, and use a variety of items like tranquilizer guns to take down foes without killing them. The AI is top-notch too. Guards work in squads, cover each other, and call for backup, making each encounter a nail-biting game of cat and mouse. And the bosses? Oh boy, they're a trip. These aren't just fight and win moments. You have to think outside the box to take them down, which adds layers of strategy. So 25 years later, Metal Gear Solid 2 isn't just a great game. It's a blueprint for the future of stealth action games, with its intelligent AI, deep story, and gameplay that made you feel like the world's greatest secret agent, even if you just wanted to peek around corners and throw bananas at people. Final Fantasy X. One of those games that makes you cry and feel like a hero all at the same time. It's set in the world of Spira, a tropical paradise filled with various races and a ton of drama. The story follows Titus, a blitzball star from the bustling city of Zanarkand, who gets thrown into Spira after a giant whale monster called Sin destroys his home. As if that weren't enough, he teams up with Yuna, a summoner on a pilgrimage to defeat Sin once and for all, and along the way, discovers that Sin is, unfortunately, tied to his own father, Yecht. Gameplay-wise, Final Fantasy X was a game-changer. Gone are the traditional world maps, and in comes an integrated world where you explore the lush environments of Spira like a local. Combat's got a new twist with the conditional turn-based battle, CTB system, so no more frantic time limits on actions. You can plan your attacks with zero pressure, making you feel like a tactical genius. The Sphere Grid, a fancy little upgrade to leveling up, lets you customize your characters in ways that go beyond their usual roles. Want to turn Yuna into a powerhouse fighter? Sure. Maybe you want Auron to play the role of a healer? You got it. The Aeons, powerful summonable creatures, steal the show, especially when they enter the fray during battle. But the best part is the optional mini-game Blitzball, an underwater sport that gets tied into the plot in ways that'll make you feel like a sports champ in a fantasy epic. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, released in 2000, is like that wild cousin who shows up at family gatherings, turns everything upside down, and leaves everyone a bit traumatized but somehow better for it. This action-adventure game takes Link to the strange world of Termina, a place that's like Hyrule but with a heavy dose of creepy vibes and a moon that's slowly crashing toward the Earth. No big deal, right? The game kicks off with Link chasing down the Skull Kid, who steals his horse, Epona, and the Ocarina of Time, and curses Link into becoming a Deku scrub. Now, Link has to work his way through this twisted world, stop a world-ending disaster, and save Termina before the moon smashes it to bits in 3 days. And guess what? You get to keep looping through those 3 days to figure out how to save everyone. Talk about deja vu. The gameplay introduces the iconic 3-day cycle, where time keeps ticking away, and your goal is to solve puzzles, help the people of Termina, and find a way to stop the moon from destroying the world.
Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed.
Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. Released in 2001, is the tactical shooter that made you feel like a real-life Special Forces operator, planning each move with the precision of a chess grandmaster. In this game, you control a squad of elite U.S. Special Forces soldiers called the Ghosts, who are thrown into a world of political turmoil and military conflict. The story kicks off in 2008, where a group of ultranationalists has taken over Russia, and the Ghosts are deployed to handle the chaos. From there, the team is plunged into a series of operations to support Georgian forces, battle Russian troops, and ultimately deal with a nuclear disaster, all while managing the kind of combat stress that only comes from working in hostile, high-stakes environments. And with a story like that, you know it's not just about shooting things, it's about strategy, teamwork, and making tough decisions. Gameplay-wise, Ghost Recon takes a deep dive into tactical realism. You don't just run and gun your way through the missions, you're commanding fire teams, issuing maneuvers, and setting rules of engagement for your squad as you navigate through each mission. The game's emphasis on tactical planning is a departure from the more action-heavy shooters, making each move feel like you're in charge of an elite military operation. You get to control up to 6 soldiers, each from different specialties like riflemen, support, demolitions, and snipers, and you'll need to use their unique skills to your advantage. If your soldiers get knocked out, they're gone for the rest of the campaign, so strategy and precision are key. The AI is sharp, and enemies won't just rush at you, they'll sneak, flank, and fight back with intelligence.
Just backstage, all is...
Who dares? Face me, coward! Face a worthy foe! Spider-Man?
Spider-Man. 2000's Spider-Man was the first major console title to truly bring the web-slinging hero to life, and it did so in style. Developed by Neversoft and published by Activision, it saw our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man wrongly accused of a crime he didn't commit, while also dealing with a massive symbiote invasion orchestrated by Dr. Octopus and the carnage-crazed Carnage. The plot itself is a roller coaster of Spider-Man staples, with villains like Venom, Scorpion, and Mysterio all popping up in a story filled with twists, action, and just the right amount of spider puns. The game even featured narration from Spider-Man co-creator Stan Lee, adding that extra bit of authenticity to your journey. This game was a playground for Spider-Man's powers. The web-slinging mechanic was a highlight, letting you swing between buildings like a true hero. You could crawl on walls, zip between points with your webs, and take advantage of a wide array of combat moves. Whether it was using your webbing to trap enemies or unleash a web shield for defense, Spider-Man gave you plenty of ways to fight, climb, and swing through the levels. And let's not forget the alternate costumes, like Spider-Man 2099 with enhanced strength or the civilian Peter Parker suit that offered a limited web cartridge supply, making things even more challenging. The combat was fast, fun, and fluid, giving players that perfect balance of freedom and challenge. After taking down the main culprits like Dr. Octopus, the ultimate showdown saw Spider-Man fighting a symbiote-possessed Dr. Octopus, aka Monster Ock. A fight that combined everything you loved about the game: swinging, webbing, and battling your way to victory.
Violence, aggression, and a mysterious plague. But not all are willing to endure this living hell. An underground resistance is forming.
Red Faction. The game that revolutionized destructible environments in gaming, and it did so with a story about rebellion, corporate greed, and survival on Mars. The game's plot follows Parker, a miner on Mars who finds himself caught up in a revolt against the oppressive Ultor Corporation after witnessing a brutal incident. It's the classic underdog rises up tale, but with the added twist of Martian mining colonies, a deadly plague, and a ton of explosions. The real star of the show? The geomod technology, which allowed players to destroy the environment in ways that hadn't been seen before in games. Want to blow a hole in the side of a building to get to the next level? Go for it. Need a shortcut? Just blast through the terrain. It gave players an incredible sense of freedom, and the thrill of destruction was a huge part of the game's appeal. Gameplay in Red Faction revolves around Parker navigating through the mining complex and fighting off various enemies, from Ultor guards to mercenaries, all while unearthing the secrets behind the plague and the corrupt practices of the corporation. The levels are designed with the geomod technology in mind, meaning you can approach objectives in creative ways, blow open doors, tunnel through walls, or just cause chaos. The plot moves forward with Parker infiltrating Ultor's facilities, learning about the origins of the plague, battling mercenaries, and taking down the villainous corporate powers that be. As Parker fights his way through the chaos, he uncovers disturbing truths about Ultor's experimentation with nanotechnology, all leading up to a final showdown where he has to deactivate a bomb and save the day. The world building on Mars feels oppressive yet alive, with its mix of corporate intrigue, alienation, and the ever-present feeling that Parker is on his own in a fight for survival. The ending sees Parker as a hero, but it's clear that Mars, with its corrupt corporate overlords and simmering rebellion, will never be the same. Hitman Codename 47. Legendary Hitman franchise, offering a thrilling, dark, and stealth-driven experience where players step into the polished shoes of Agent 47, a genetically enhanced assassin with a cold, calculated approach to killing. The game's story unfolds as 47 is hired by the International Contract Agency, ICA, taking on a series of high-profile targets, only to uncover a much deeper conspiracy involving his own origins. The plot is classic. Hitman 47 is an elite killer who must navigate a web of deception, uncovering the dark truth about his creation while dispatching targets across various global locations. It's all about precision, stealth, and executing contracts, but the journey takes a thrilling turn when 47 learns that he's the product of a twisted cloning experiment. The gameplay was revolutionary for its time. The key feature, Geomod technology, set the stage for a new approach to stealth gameplay, emphasizing stealthy, silent assassinations and allowing players to approach each mission in various ways. 47 can blend into environments using disguises, sneak past guards, and complete objectives without ever being detected, or, if you prefer, go full action and take out enemies head-on. Weapons are abundant, from knives to sniper rifles, but it's your creativity that counts. Each level lets you improvise, either hiding bodies, using distractions, or simply sneaking your way through hostile territory. The game was challenging, with the difficulty spiking as you try to avoid civilian casualties, which cost you money, and maintain your cover while executing your targets. The disguise mechanic was central. After eliminating enemies, 47 could steal their clothes and use them to infiltrate restricted areas, but if anyone saw through the disguise or discovered a body, you'd be in hot water. This added a layer of tension to every mission, forcing you to think strategically. With its open-ended approach to level design, Codename 47 offered freedom in how you completed your objectives, whether it was using brute force or the quiet, deadly art of assassination.
I'm here for you, James. See? I'm real.
Silent Hill 2. A psychological horror masterpiece that continues to be hailed as one of the greatest video games of all time. Developed by Team Silent and published by Konami, it follows James Sunderland, a widower who receives a letter from his deceased wife Mary, asking him to meet her in the mysterious town of Silent Hill. What follows is a journey through a foggy, twisted version of Silent Hill, where monsters and puzzles mirror the psychological torment and guilt James carries with him. The game's deep narrative explores themes of grief, guilt, and the human psyche, making it a deeply emotional and philosophical experience. The gameplay of Silent Hill 2 focuses heavily on exploration, with a third-person perspective and an emphasis on slow, deliberate movement. James has to navigate the eerie town, solve puzzles, and deal with monstrous threats, all while uncovering disturbing truths about his past. The game's atmosphere is built through the fog-filled environments, unsettling sound design, and haunting soundtrack, immersing players in a world of psychological horror. One of the standout features is the absence of a traditional HUD. Instead, players must pause the game to check James's health or inventory, adding a layer of realism and immersion. Combat, while present, is secondary to the game's psychological themes, often forcing players to choose stealth over fighting whenever possible. The story is told through interactions with various characters like Angela, Eddie, and Maria, each of whom is struggling with their own issues. The dynamic between James and these characters reflects his inner turmoil, with each person symbolizing different aspects of his psyche. As the game progresses, James uncovers the truth about his wife's death and the dark secrets of his past, including the horrifying revelation that he himself was responsible for her death. Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. In 2000, just when the world was bracing for Y2K chaos, Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker dropped on the Game Boy Color, PlayStation, and Nintendo 64. No computers exploded, but Batman fans definitely got a treat. Released across multiple platforms through 2000 and 2001, this game gave fans a taste of the future with Terry McGinnis as the new Batman. The future is here, and Batman's retired. But hold up, the Joker's back from the dead, leading a wild gang called the Jokers. Naturally, he's up to his old tricks, stealing tech and trying to launch a missile to blow up Gotham. Oh, and surprise, the Joker's got Tim Drake, the old Robin, mind-controlled and working for him. What's a future Batman to do? Terry, our new hero, must stop the Joker and free Tim, while dealing with all kinds of chaos, like fighting through high-tech labs and battling the Jokers. It's basically a crime-fighting action movie that you get to play. Punch, kick, and suit up with 3 different gear options: offensive, defensive, and nimble. You'll use cool weapons like magnetic nunchakus and a discus. The fights are a bit too easy at times, but throw in some challenge, and boom, it's an action-packed Gotham adventure. And hey, it's Batman, so it's worth every punch.
As I watched, I became convinced that I was truly mad. Terrible.
Diablo II. Released in 2000, Diablo II set the standard for action RPGs with its dark fantasy world and devilish gameplay. With all the demon-slaying action you could ever want, and probably some you didn't, this Blizzard classic became an instant hit, claiming its place in the annals of gaming history. If you were lucky enough to catch it on Battle.net, you were basically living your best late 90s early Deus Ex life. In Diablo II, you're the savior of the world, no pressure. After the previous game's hero went all demon-possessed on us, you take on the task of stopping the prime evils, including Diablo, Lord of Terror, Mephisto, Lord of Hatred, and Baal, Lord of Destruction. As you chase the Dark Wanderer, spoiler, it's Diablo, you'll travel through diverse settings like deserts, jungles, and even hell itself. Plus, there's a bunch of quests, plenty of loot, and some disturbing cutscenes to keep things spicy. Basically, you'll be the one to save the world. Again, explore random dungeons, gain loot, and level up as you face off against waves of demons. With 3 difficulty levels, Normal, Nightmare, and Hell, you'll be fighting harder monsters and earning better loot as you progress. Hardcore mode? It's a one-life challenge, and if you've had friends, the multiplayer mode is where the real fun and loot wars happened.
Captain Keyes.
Good to see you, Master Chief. Things aren't going well. Cortana did her best, but we never really had a chance.
A dozen Covenant superior battleships against...
Halo Combat Evolved. Set in the 26th century, the game follows Master Chief, a genetically enhanced super soldier, and his AI companion Cortana, as they battle against the alien Covenant and uncover the secrets of Halo, a mysterious ring world. This was the game that defined the Xbox platform and became a cornerstone of the Halo franchise, praised for its gameplay, story, and multiplayer features. Players are tasked with fighting alien forces, exploring various environments, and working alongside the crew of the Pillar of Autumn. The game's plot revolves around stopping the Covenant from using Halo as a weapon. Master Chief and Cortana must confront the truth about the installation's purpose and prevent a galaxy-wide catastrophe. The narrative, combined with the innovative multiplayer modes, solidified Halo. Combat evolved as a classic, becoming a massive success and launching a multi-billion-dollar franchise that includes sequels, novels, and merchandise. It is widely considered one of the most influential video games of all time. The game introduces the use of vehicles, like the Warthog. And there's the Covenant, consisting of various alien species, presents diverse challenges, from the shielded elites to the parasitic flood.
Watch yourself, Joe. You're on Datadyne property now. Our employer wants you to break in, undetected. Mega corporations don't take kindly to intruders.
Perfect Dark. This first-person shooter developed by Rare for the Nintendo 64 features the skilled agent Joanna Dark as she battles an extraterrestrial conspiracy led by the rival corporation Datadyne. As the first game in the Perfect Dark series, it serves as a spiritual successor to GoldenEye 007, sharing many gameplay features, but also introducing new mechanics, including an expansive campaign, multiplayer modes, and a wide variety of weapons and gadgets. The game is set in 2023, where players take on the role of Joanna Dark, an elite agent of the Carrington Institute. The story follows her as she attempts to thwart Datadyne's plans to control alien technology and access a deadly alien spacecraft at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. Throughout the campaign, Joanna faces off against the corporation's soldiers, unearths secrets of alien involvement, and engages in thrilling action sequences across a variety of environments. The game features a mix of stealth, gunplay, and puzzle solving, with an emphasis on completing objectives in multiple ways. The missions allow for significant player freedom, and players must use their skills and gadgets to outwit enemies and uncover the conspiracy. Perfect Dark also features an extensive multiplayer mode, including classic deathmatch, co-op, and unique game types like counter-operative. It allows up to 4 players to compete in split-screen matches or play with up to 8 computer-controlled bots. Players can customize everything from bots' behaviors to weapon placement, creating a dynamic multiplayer experience. These 15 games prove that great gameplay never ages. With their rich stories, memorable characters, and designs, they remain relevant and fun to play even decades later. So, what's your favorite old-school game? Let us know in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe for more content celebrating the games that shaped the industry.